Hello there mates, Mooshi Gamer here, and this is ShadowRun Hong Kong episode 63. So, we saved Raymond! There he is, right there, there's Raymond. Hi Raymond! That's my papa. And we're gonna just be headed back out, I guess. I don't think there's anything else for me to do in here. I'll kind of got my old outfits back. I like that one more. Oh. The guards are talking amongst themselves excitedly as you arrive. Then they're instantly alert, exchanging nervous glances. Their leader speaks up, addressing them with all the confidence he can muster. We're the last line of defense, and we are going to hold them here. Do you understand? The guards are clearly frightened, but appear ready to follow his orders. You can see his confidence rising at their reactions. Stop where you are, runner. Drop your weapons or we'll open fire. We just took down your whole security network and cut our way through their best squad. You sure decide you want to play this? There's a trail of blood behind me wider than the South China Sea. You gotta be smart about this and drop your guns. Ooh, I like the second one better. I have to go with that one. Guard looks to his coworkers and nods to you. Nope, this is definitely not how he wants to play this. Just pretend that we never saw each other. Okay? He takes his finger off the trigger and begins lowering his weapon. I wish I could do that, but I have a no witnesses policy. Smart play, we never saw each other. Attack, I don't play, let's pretend. I don't know about this. Cause weren't they just like really ready to attack us? I feel like this might be a mistake to let them go by. Smart play, we never saw each other. I wish I could do that, but I have a no witnesses policy. I mean, do I have a no witnesses policy? Because I kind of feel like I looked at that guy downstairs and he's technically a witness. I don't know, I just, should I? The consequences of leaving them alive are honestly greater than the consequences of me killing them. Okay. Each other. Well, this is hard, man. I kind of just want to flip a coin and have that be it. Because I'm thinking if I don't let them live, what would be kindly change your action? And I'm thinking, well, if they're willing to let me pass and I don't have to fight them, then I don't want to fight them. It's okay, it's fine. Guards lower their weapons. I don't get paid enough for this. That's the achievement I just unlocked. Alright. Alright, sleep. I really hope Kelly Chain doesn't get like super pissed off about that. But I didn't get the information on whatever. Alarms blare as you hustle Raymond from the special project section of Prosperity Tower, but you encounter no resistance. Raymond unsteadily gropes his way through the corridors of the corporate headquarters, holding onto your elbow for support. Occasionally, the old man fingers the gauze resting on his head with his free hand, wincing he touches a tender patch. 10 minutes pass between the time you exit the building and enter the MTR station. The team remains on high alert, scanning the streets and buildings for signs of sane security forces until, like a stream of cockroaches, you scuttle underground into the cool safety of the mass transit tunnels. You pay the fare, grab Raymond, and make your way to the subway platform, the sound of the old man's ragged breathing loudly rushing past your ear. Seconds tick slowly while you wait for the subway train to arrive. I didn't get any dirt. I guess I would have had to kill that CEO to get information on Josephine saying. I had a feeling that was what I was supposed to do, but it is whatever. It's done now. I got 2 of the objectives and I'm happy about that. Or 2 of the extra objectives, I should say. And we're waiting. There it is. Oh, this got you. The team hustles Raymond onto a subway car, quietly taking up defensive positions and scoping the platforms for a sign of pursuit. The old man is unsteady on his feet, but he insists on standing under his own power. He grabs a railing and holds on with white knuckles as the train rushes forward. A group of tourists sit nearby, conspicuously avoiding eye contact with any of you. The crew looks over the old man with the bandage on the back of his head, exchanging meaningful expressions. Raymond squints at the odd group surrounding him, but his nod indicates that he understands he's among friends. Wu drags his goggles off his head, bending his knees to get a better look at his foster father. A tangled knot of relief, compassion, resentment, and hurt churns across the younger man's face as he wrestles with his confused emotions. Fear for his father's health overcomes them all. Raymond? Right. Raymond turns his head towards Wu's voice. His eyes are cloudy, but there's reassurance in his tone. Duncan. I'm alright. I'm still me. He fights with focus. Are we in a subway? Wu exhales big. Yeah, we're in a subway. You're safe. He drags his attention away from the old man, looks at you. What happened? Is he okay? We got to him in time. He's just exhausted. Or as I can tell, yeah. There's no way to know without extensive testing in a proper facility. We aborted invasive brain surgery, and he's been suffering from visions and nightmares for a long time. Yeah, needless to say, that's not my character. He did. I fought against the reprogramming. The old man's voice is little more than a soft croak. His eyes are sunken and surrounded by dark circles. His mother's medical technology must be amazing. It's hard to believe he's walking under his own power so soon after the surgery. Yeah, well, Grandma's an amazing woman. Her high-tech brain surgery, her ownership of the cops, her execution of my partner and those runners. Wu's face hardens and stands up straight, glaring down at the older man. Oh, in the way she had the plastic-faced man snatch her own son. Amazing woman. She's a real piece of work, no doubt about it. Yeah, tell me about it. Apparently her son is, too. Pain and bitterness drip from Wu's deep, raspy voice. This man, whoever he is, has a lot of explaining to do. Are you ready to start telling us the truth, Edward? The old man tilts his head up to the orc towering above him, and although exhausted, his jaw sits firm. Yes, Duncan, I'm ready to tell you everything. I had planned to explain it all when you arrived in Hong Kong. Yeah, I mean it was postponed due to kidnapping and murder. We're here now, Ray. I kinda like the first one. The old man's mouth purses and his lip quiver for a moment, but he regains control. I never believed it would come to that my mother was capable of. He allows the thought to remain unfinished. The old man leans back on the wall of the subway car and gathers his thoughts. He seems to swoon for a moment, but then inhales deeply, swallows hard, and pulls himself erect. My name is Edward Sane. I'm the only son of Josephine Sane, the CEO of Sane Mechanical Services, heir to the company. Before I left Hong Kong, I was the vice president of the special project, the up-and-coming star of the company. Was prosperity one of your special projects? Is that why your mother kidnapped you? Because you were eclipsing her? I kind of want to go with the second one. Something you've never seen before washes over the tired old man's face. Shame. You've heard of it. Prosperity. I see. Raymond takes a breath and the labored croak of his voice drops to a monotone. I was part of a project my mother envisioned to rebuild Kowloon Walled City, a walking neighborhood for underprivileged citizens, fully integrated with job training programs, co-op childcare, drug counseling centers. It was a new approach to low-income housing in the East, the springboard of prosperity for hundreds of thousands. Yeah, that doesn't sound like the place I grew up in. Raymond is 20 years away, doesn't seem to hear. Mother personally oversaw every aspect of the project to ensure that every detail was executed properly, chose each project manager herself, chaired regular status meetings with architects, builders, visited the worksite for surprise inspections, still driven to make her renewed, revitalized Walled City a success. No, she didn't do too well with that whole prosperity thing, did she? That was prosperity, another low-income housing project? Go with the first one. Not true. Mother's planning was excellent, but the Walled City wasn't the prosperity project. Raymond covers his eyes with a liver-spotted hand, the dread radiating from him like the stink of decayed meat. Prosperity was something I built, at the center of the walled city. And a moment later, an invisible grip takes hold of your chest, constricts it, squeezing the air from your lungs. Your vision grays from the edges, and the world surges backward, leaving you suspended in the distance on a periphery of reality. Something is hurtling towards you, approaching from the fringe of your mind like a bullet train. It screams ahead, closer and closer, until it is upon you, overwhelming you with its presence. And then, nothing. Silence. Until a scream pierces your consciousness, pulls you screaming to its source. You're back in the walled city, the city of darkness. Oh my! The hell is that? Your mind wrenches, inverts, and then violently jerks back into your skull. Your stomach cramps hard, and the taste of bile burns your throat. A thin trickle of cold sweat slides down the small of your back, and your eyes refuse to focus. Your crew fares no better. Goblet pulls herself from the floor, madness and folly squeaking wildly in the folds of her clothing. Isabel grips a railing, her back to the group, retching silently. Oh, my. Ractor leans against Koshé, his ashen face staring at the ceiling. He blinks rapidly, processing. Gayatri stands perfectly still in the center of the car, hands at his side, his face impassive. Wu breathes deeply, his hands on his knees. That wasn't a dream. He shakes his head like a lion's mane and spits on the floor. That was something else. Goblet's breathing is shallow. She's covered in a thin sheen of sweat. It was a vision. I saw some sort of machine inside the walled city. Isabel turned, squinting in concentration. Her lips are white. It was churning something. It felt wrong. Impossible. I think it was ripping. I don't know. Reality. The orc girl shudders. It was ripping a hole in reality. Something is here, my friends. Something has arrived. I believe we have just fallen in over our heads. Wu straightens up, drawing the back of her wrist across his mouth. What the hell was that, Raymond? No answer. Wu spins to find Raymond cowering, his head in his hands, shuddering and weeping. She's here. What the hell is going on? Who's here, Raymond? Breathe, Raymond, breathe. Shouldn't have waited, shouldn't have hid. He looks up at you with bloodshot eyes. She's here, the queen with 1,000 teeth. Raymond rocks in place, hugging himself, staring past you at someone only he can see. I left prosperity in there. I left prosperity in there. I left prosperity in there. Uh-oh, looks like Raymond's gone. Bye-bye. Shh, got it. Isabel whispers her astonishment. Take it easy, Raymond. You're with me, Mooshi. Snap your fingers in front of Raymond's face. Ray, back here, Ray. I'll say it first. The old man looks at you as if seeing you for the first time. Mooshi, you came. Raymond blinks his eyes open. His voice is weak, hesitant, disconnected somehow. Are we in the subway? The right corner of his mouth twitches noticeably. Why is he stuttering? He's not. I used to stutter, and this doesn't sound like a stutter to me. Something else is going on. Could be the visions, could be the aborted brain surgery, or some combination of the two. Something bad is happening. Began a long time ago, and now responsible. His eyes open wide. The queen, prosperity. Queen with 1,000 teeth. These dreams, visions, they've been coming to you for a long time, haven't they? Okay, that's it. It's time to explain what the hell is going on here. What is prosperity, Raymond? Why is all this happening? That's what I want to know. Raymond turns his head towards you, trying to focus. This is all because of me and my mother. Something we did a long time ago. He puts a hand out and steadies himself on Wu's arm. My fault. Prosperity. All those people. Those poor people. The Prosperity Project? When you worked on the walled city? Basically they say the same thing. Shame eclipses the old man's face. You know about prosperity? Yes, sort of. Wu's tongue gets a little sharper. We already covered this, Raven. We know that it's in the center of the walled city and that Edward Sang built it. We have Edward Sang here to explain the whole thing, right, Edward? Why don't you start at the beginning, Raven? Tell us what all this is about. The beginning, sometime in the 20s, my mother was awarded he searches for the word, the contract to build the housing development, the walled city. Well, from the results, I say mom kind of blew it. Prosperity failed. Frustration appears in the old man's tired eyes. I told you, the walled city wasn't the prosperity project. Prosperity was the fortune engine I built at the center of the walled city. My special project. Fortune engine? What are you talking about? Wu sneers. You can't create fortune, Raymond. You kinda can, Gun Show. Some practitioners of feng shui believe they can do it. Ever heard of the Bagua of the 8 aspirations? Who looks at Gobbet flatly? No, Gobbet. I must have skipped school that day. Me too, and I want to skip it now. Let's cut to the chase. Keep going, Gobbet. I want to hear this. I hate to interrupt her. I really would. Gobbet wrinkles her nose at Wu. It's Neo Feng Shui. Oh my god. Neo Feng Shui. The matches of the craft can map the flow of ki and how it corresponds to different aspects in someone's life. Fame, relationships, creativity, inner knowledge, health, and fortune. There are 6. I thought you said there are 8 aspects. Little Orc shrugged. I don't remember the other 2, but one of them was definitely fortune. Looked sidelong at Raven. So what does your fortune engine do? The fortune engine was designed to improve the balance of ki in a negative ki environment. A negative ki environment? Somewhere shitty, like a slum. Raymond corrects her, like a low-income housing project. I believe that with the fortune engine, the rebuilt walled city might never become a slum. He drifts off for a moment, remembering. Then he squeezes his eyes shut and lowers his head. But the machine malfunctioned. Malfunctioned how? The mechanism I created to circulate negative ki in the walled city, he brings a deliberate spot a hand to his mouth. It got stuck. Stuck on what? Raymond rises slowly, pulling himself from his crumpled heap. His tone turns instructive, the old Raymond, but this time his explanation is halting and weary. Think of the fortune engine as a sort of propeller blade moving through astral space, circulating ki, keeping it, he hunts for the word, fresh. When ki flows, when the rhythm is right, the results are positive, fortuitous. When I brought my design for the fortune engine to my mother, she embraced it. He excels. She more than embraced it. She bankrolled it. Put an entire division of sane mechanical under me to develop it. Sounds like a big bet. Raymond nods rapidly, the biggest of her career. Mother said if the machine could bring fortune to the less fortunate, it would prove my theory. It could help the poor. Imagine what a fortune engine could do for Josephine Sang. Wu's jaw clenches. That's not what happened, was it? Something went wrong. The people in the walled city didn't benefit from your fortune engine, did they, Raymond? Old man bows his head, doesn't answer. Raymond, why didn't your fortune engine work? Answer the question, Raymond. What went wrong? That would happen to your fortune engine. I don't know what you want to say here. I'll go ahead, Raymond. It got stuck. He doesn't raise his head. The mechanism I created to circulate negative ki in the walled city got stuck. You can see Wu's patience bowing away like autumn leaves in a high wind. He rubs his head viciously in frustration. Stuck on what, Raymond? The old man gets a confused look on his face. His lips move silently for several moments. Wu leans in close, drops to a whisper, sees in his foster father's face. Stuck on what? Raymond winces at Wu's tone and stumbles back a step, but it does the job and the old man focuses. Something in astral space. I wasn't sure what. That sounds bad. The machine started pulling negative ki. The old man's breathing begins to accelerate. And the walled city started to fill with it. Fortunes turned bad. I've been in places where the feng shui was really bad. That's not what I felt when I was in the walled city. No, ki needs to flow. Eventually the enormous pool of negative ki became toxic. Fortune turned from bad to worse. Much worse. Raymond's shoulders slumped. Mother's visions for a revitalized walled city fell to ruin. It only took a few years for the trapped toxic ki to turn a brand new housing development into a hellish slum. Why didn't you turn it off? I couldn't. Something happened. Part of the function, we couldn't turn it off. Why didn't you blow it up, wrap it in C6, and turn it into a scrap heap? Mother refused. Rue's tone turns icy cold. Why? I never found out. She wouldn't tell me. She would only say that it wasn't worth spending the additional resources to figure out how to fix it, or even how to turn it off. Work started spilling out of the old man. She sealed off the maintenance room. Our engineers poured a sarcophagus of thick concrete around it so no one could ever find out what we had done. Then she wrote the project off as a business loss and moved on like nothing had ever happened, right? Yes, his face flushes and he fidgets with the gauze bandage on his head. After that, I left Hong Kong, started a new life in Seattle. Found you two. Should have stayed, tried to do something about it. Wu grimaces, disappointed. You were a coward, Raven. Yes. Raven stands up straight, takes a sticky step towards Wu. Yes, Duncan, I was a coward. And the guilt, the burden of my cowardice gripped me like a vise that never loosened. Has eaten me from the inside for 20 years. He licks his lips, tries to breathe. And then the nightmares began. Horrible. Still, I kept working on a problem, night and day. That's the work that kept you in your study until all hours of the morning? Oh, of the morning. There's an exclamation mark at the end. Did you ever figure out how to stop it? It took me years, even after you left, to make the connections, find what to do. But I did. I figured it out. And still the nightmares intensified till they became unbearable. I knew I had to come back, fix what I had done. That's why I contacted you, to help me see it through. Wu mumbled something, but all you can make out is the word coward. What about the ripping reality we saw in our vision? Raymond's voice flattens. When the machine malfunctioned, when the circulator became stuck in actual space, it lodged itself in another domain. He sways and his lips begin to tremble, and something lifts there. Not good. The old man begins to drift. After 20 years of constant force, the circulator finally begins tearing astral space, creating a rupture in her domain. He begins rocking in place, and now she's pushing through, and now she's pushing through, and now she's pushing through. Yeah, she's pushing through alright. Wu snarls at his foster father, the queen with 1,000 fucking teeth. A thing you brought here, Raven. Raven stares, stops his rocking, becomes fully lucid. He snaps back at Wu. I understand that, Mr. Wu. That's why I came back. I believe she is only partially here. She hasn't pushed all the way through yet. She's probing her new hunting ground. The emotional strain of his snap at Wu rattles him again. I know what to do now. How to extract the circulator, shut the machine down before she can fully manifest. Just get me to the center of the walled city, to the fortune engine. I will do the rest. Please help me. Help them. You helped us overcome some hairy mistakes when we were kids, Ray. Now we get to help you fix yours. Duncan's right. There's a thing in there and it needs to be sent home. These visions are turning my guts inside out. I need to stop them at the source. The Walled City is a serious revenue source for the Triads. If we fix this, Connie Chang is gonna shower us in gold. That machine has caused unspeakable misery. It needs to be shut down. I'm kind of leaning between the first one and the fifth one. I don't know if we can help you fix yours. The machine has caused unspeakable misery. It needs to be shut down. I'll go with the fifth one. Why not? Whatever misery the machines cause is nothing compared to what's going to happen now. The little Decker's eyes open wide, more white than ours. It's not just a thing in their MS. It's a Yama King, a demon goddess. Her breathing becomes faster, shallower. I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can go back in there. We're trapped we can't run. And believe me, I want to. It's all I've been thinking of. The rat shaman's shoulders rise with tension. But the APB is still out on us, and those visions, I got a feeling they're not going to stop unless we make them stop. And that fragile old man's the only way to do it. We've got to take him in there, we've got to help him fix this. I, for one, wish to see this fortune engine. I am intrigued. Raptor's pale eyes glint. I willingly go. Gaichu's face remains impassive, but his eyelids lower in anticipation. I have the opportunity to kill a god. I cannot allow the opportunity to pass unanswered. I hate this country. I hate this life. Wu sets his jaw and hooks his thumb into his belt. He stares evenly at Raven, his voice cold. But I owe you, Raymond, and I'm not walking away from that. I intend to make us even. I hope you fix your mess or die trying. So we finally figure out what the heck figures the people streaming from inside of Wall City. The storm isn't a typhoon. Something else. Is that blood? What? What's going on? Oh my! Is he dead? What is this? Alright, I'm going to end the video here and come back in the next video. If you guys like the video, comment and subscribe below. Thank you guys for watching, and Mooshi Gamer signing out.